if you are looking for a place, you need to prepare yourself. Look at your income and look at your expenses. There's no right or wrong. Different property managers look at this differently. It looks really good online, but when you go there, it's a dump. As long as the communication's there, it's okay. Be genuine, be truthful as you can. Hey everyone, it's Opie here for another video. So today I had a pretty productive day. It's a bit late now, it's almost 11 o'clock at night, but I thought, hey, I made a commitment. I'm gonna record a video, which is good. So one of the things I did was do an inspection. So I manage a couple of investment properties and they've got converted them into rooming houses. So over the years I've been able to manage dozens of tenants, and I've made a video on how to manage tenants, green tenants, and all of that stuff previously, so check that video out. But this is a video, I guess, on the other side. So what happens if you're the tenant and if you're applying, what should you do? What are the things that you should do to get into a property? Because I know at the moment it's a tough market out there. Like I know for a fact there are a lot of people who are working, but they're just not able to get themselves into a property. They are, sometimes living in their cars, tents. I see it all the time now. So it's, the cost of living has just gotten to the point where it's quite ridiculous. And obviously the housing supply isn't really growing as we expected either. So there's a few things going on which is impacting people to be able to live comfortably or even live in a place at all. Which is messed up. So I'm getting like dozens of messages, and I can't unfortunately find a place for all of them. Yeah, so that's always on the back of my mind. How can I help all these people out? And I do have a few ideas which I'll cover in another video. So maybe I'll cover that in another video. So that's more of a community service kind of thing where I can get a whole bunch of people together and do something, because obviously the government isn't doing anything. Well, not enough, I should say. But anyway, moving on. So if you are looking for a place, if you are looking to apply for a rental property, you need to prepare yourself for it. So leading up to it, start putting some money away for the bond and just to show that you've got some sort of commitment in terms of savings, okay? Same deal as if you're buying your house. Once you've got that ready, look at your income and look at your expenses and just see if you're actually able to afford paying the rent, whatever the rent is. So there's no right or wrong, and different property managers look at this differently, but the rent that you're paying should be somewhere between 30 to 40% of your income. Like 40% is probably on the high side. If you can keep it under 30%, that will be ideal. I know sometimes there's flexibility in that. If sometimes you work overtime and you get extra money, and you might work a second job that's paying cash or something like that. These are just sort of guidelines, but what I do is when I get a whole bunch of rental income, thank goodness for AI now, I've actually got a like if it comes in PDF, I'll basically ask the AI engine, hey, what's the income versus expense ratio, and it'll give me a breakdown. Boom, boom, boom. It'll takes like 30 seconds, and it's awesome. So previously I would have to actually look at each payslip and try and work this out. But that's what I'm doing, and I'm assuming if a little guy like me is doing it, I'm assuming the big property managers who manage hundreds of or thousands of tenants, probably hundreds, right? Unless they're really big, they'll be doing the same thing, or they should be doing the same thing to speed up the process. So that's one. So before they do it, make sure you do it and see if that ratio is workable and if you can afford it. The other thing is, when you actually make an inquiry into a property, just break it down into the point where it's easier for the other person reading it to know what type of person you are, your background, and so forth. Often I get messages going, hey, what's up? I like your room, or I like your house, and can I get an inspection? Those one-liners are just a waste of everyone's time because we don't know. So how you should structure it is, this is how I would do it, this is how I recommend you do it as well. Just go, hey, looking through the listings, found your place, looks great, I like it, boom. Then, you know, at least they've gone through the listing, even though if it's a generic line. Then you go, this is a little bit about myself. You know, I am in this is my current situation, blah, blah, blah. And then you go to the next thing, you know, I'm working, what's your income status? If you're not working, if you're studying, do you have savings? Are you getting some sort of government benefits like Centrelink or something like that? And then when can you move in, and what would you like the next steps to be, which is ideally an inspection, right? So that's what you're going for. You want to try and meet with the property manager and actually go in for an inspection, firstly to see if the location and actual house is as listed, because sometimes what you see online isn't what it is when you go. I've had heaps of people say, you know, it looks really good online, but when you go there, it's a dump. So there's no point doing that. So try and meet them. And often people, I mean, I've had to actually look for rental properties for someone else in the last, say, 3 months or so. When I've called up property managers, they've gone, hey, how much are you willing to pay up front? You know, can you pay 12 months up front? And I'm going, geez. So this is, I'd never asked that from tenants, but that's the market that we're in at the moment, which is a bit scary, right? So if you're not prepared to pay 3, 6, 12 months up front, I hate to say it, you might get declined, but I don't like, obviously that's not all the cases. Look for places where there are, you know, honest, and then you can work with, as long as you come across as an honest, hardworking person, you will find someone who you can connect with on the same wavelength that can help you out. So we've covered the introduction. So the way you introduce yourself is so important in terms of keeping that communication professional and to the point, essentially, right? A couple of years ago, I had a guy contact me, a really lovely guy, and turned out he was living in the car, but the messages were, I mean, not that it's connected, right? You could be living in your car, and anyway, but it was like structured really well, so polite, and I'm like, okay, I have to give this guy a chance, or at least meet him. Met him, and again, same demeanor, very nice person, and initially I wasn't going to give him a chance because of some other reason, but I thought, no, I'm gonna go with my gut, and it's worked out awesome. It's been there for 2, 3, 4, probably about 3 years now, actually. So from our end, when we go through the paperwork, sometimes it's a gut feelings. You know, most of the time these days I get it right, sometimes I get it wrong, and it does hurt when you get it wrong, mostly in terms of actually financial and property damage. So it is what it is. What else? I've had a bit of a list, and then tell them the move-in dates, and when you've got the inspection, arrive on time. Like even today, I rocked up there, I was supposed to be there at 4:30. I got there 4:29, waiting. The guy rocks up at 4:50. I was just about to leave. I messaged, nothing, like no apology, no, hey, sorry, I was running late on time. And just common courtesy is not there, and it leaves a sort of a bad impression. And I'm not saying like I'm some big important dude, but like the average person is not going to wait around until you make your way there. As long as the communication's there, it's okay. It's fine. I'm running late because of blah, blah, blah. Nothing. But yeah, those are the things I just wanted to sort of cover. So to recap that, prepare yourself before you start applying. Make sure your income to expense ratio is okay. Under 30% if you can. Under 40% is pushing it, but it is what it is. So try your luck. And when you communicate out, be professional. Put it in bullet form if you have to. Don't give your life story that they don't have time to read it. So put it in bullet form, but make it concise as to what you're doing. You know, what your current employment status is, what your situation is, and when you'd like to move in ideally, and what the lease period is. Okay, so just sort of those bullet points. Arrive on time if you get an inspection, and be courteous, be genuine, be truthful as you can, so that you can work with them. That's it. Thank you very much for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.